Hey, glad you made it here today. Let me talk to you like someone who's been living with this thing powering their room every single night. The first time you fire up the Onkyo TX-RZ70, you immediately feel it, not in a technical way, but in that, oh, this is what real home theater is supposed to feel like, kind of way. If you're the kind of person who refuses to settle for background noise, someone who wants movies, music, and gaming to actually hit you in the chest, this is made for you. You like clarity, power, and precision all existing at the same time. You care about quality even when nobody's watching, and this receiver rewards that mindset. Before we go further, check the current price and stock while you're listening, because this one tends to swing without warning. You probably reached this moment because you were tired of weak dialogue, flat sound stages, or an old receiver that just couldn't keep up. At some point you're done with compromise, and you start wanting your setup to match the level of taste you've grown into. Switching to the TX-RZ70 is that moment where you feel yourself stepping out of good enough and into something built for people who demand more. The first night after upgrading, there's this strange sense of relief. You sit down, hit play, and instantly hear layers you didn't even know your speakers could produce. The low end tightens, the mid-range opens, and the room suddenly feels wider, like someone finally removed the ceiling that had been holding your sound back. It gives you this confidence that your system is finally performing the way you always hoped it could. For me, it's the real-life scenes that made it click. Watching a movie and hearing rain feel like it's actually surrounding the couch. Firing up a late-night gaming session and catching directional cues that used to blur together. Even simple things like listening to a quiet acoustic playlist at sunrise feel deeper, more detailed, more intentional. Once you experience sound with this kind of control and power, going backward becomes impossible. If you're listening closely right now, check the price again. Don't wait for those weird stock dips or random jumps that always happen with high-demand receivers. And if you're doubting whether it's too much, that's normal. But understand something, what feels like overkill on paper becomes the new standard once you hear it. The power isn't about loudness, it's about authority. The room feels balanced, the imaging locks in, and everything becomes smoother, richer, more cinematic. That hesitation you have, it disappears the moment you hear it breathe life into your speakers. One thing that surprised me is how clean the experience feels with Dirac. You don't think calibration will matter that much, until suddenly every seat sounds like the perfect seat. It's the kind of upgrade you can't unhear, and that becomes a little addictive. And owning something like this does something to you. You feel proud of your setup. You sit differently. You look at your room and know you built something serious, something that reflects your taste and standards. This is gear for people who outgrew basic. The sound feels fuller and more controlled, the clarity pulls you deeper into every scene, the bass tightens and hits cleaner, the whole room feels elevated. The only real downside is the size. It's not small, and once you get used to this level, every other receiver feels thin. Eventually you realize you've been comparing options just to reassure yourself, but deep down, you already wanted this one. At some point you stop looping and choose the upgrade you know you won't regret later. If you're ready, check the current price below and lock it in before the next stock change. This is one of those upgrades that transforms your entire setup the moment you bring it home.